Hi, everybody, and welcome to the finale of the Survivor 50 Wishlist podcast, an off-season series where we're trying to figure out who could and should come back for the upcoming season of Survivor 50, and perhaps the last episode of the Summer of Survivor. Summer is on its way out, comes to an official end on Monday, and so we have rounded the troops one more time to get together on a Wednesday night before our Wednesday nights are occupied starting in mid-September for a very important job. This summer, we have talked through every single Survivor contestant. We have put a good amount of them on a fan-voted ballot. And now, tonight, we will get, as voted on by you, the 20 Survivor contestants to make the fan cast of Survivor 50. My name is Mike Bloom, and I'm so happy to be here. I've dressed up in a black tie affair. I realize now, in retrospect, I look a lot like SpongeBob, but that just means I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about these people. Actually, I didn't even realize that this is, I believe if my math is right, our 50th Wishlist podcast, which
oh my God,
works out incredibly fittingly. So let's go around the
board.
I
guess, yeah.
And talk about who is here to join me. Of course, you heard her melodious voice, as you have been this entire summer. Shannon Gush. Shannon, how are you?
I'm great. I love that you're dressed all fancy. It's adorable. Yeah, I was like, wow, 50. What are the odds? Right, because you did one per season. There are 46 seasons. Then you did a couple of extras, and now we're here. It's not amazing, but it still feels cool.
All right. I not amazing. That's another show that's amazing, but it's superb, perhaps. And of course, this man is very superb because this guy has been joining me since the beginning, stopping in throughout the Wishlist series, and may be one of the names we talk about tonight. He is on a razor's edge right now. It's Rob Cesternino.
Pins and needles, Mike. Very excited to be back here with you both to talk about this. It was back in May. Is that when the Summer of Survivor started? Is that when the Survivor 50 wishlist started? And so to have it all come together tonight, amazing. Mike, what you have been able to do with this wish list, the podcast, the response, it has been absolutely a marvel to watch you cook. And so, Mike, really just this is beyond any expectations that we could have ever imagined. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I mean, you are putting words in my mouth, but I completely agree with everything you're saying. And I know I've expressed this before when it comes to the top 50 reveal. This morning on Twitter, I shouted out each and every person from the RHAP and Survivor community who joined me for those daily podcasts. But I cannot express how much gratitude I have to everyone who engaged with this project in some way, shape, or form, whether it's those that came onto the podcast, whether you listened to one, whether you listened to all 50, whether you voted in either round of the ballot, to those who shared the ballot, especially, again, the Survivor alumni who came out of the woodwork. It just absolutely blew me away. One of the happiest blindsides I've experienced in my life. And it's not a labor of love if you love the labor. And I had such a fulfilling time getting to do this, no matter what happens. I'm a journey over a destination type of person. But I truly feel like Jeff has talked and will talk in a future interview with me that will be posted at a later date about how he wants 50 to be a celebration of this milestone season accomplished by this incredible show. And no matter what happens with the cast we get tonight or the cast we get on season 50 proper, getting the opportunity to really take a walk down memory lane across nearly 25 years of the show that we hold near and dear to our hearts was such an honor, and a Jervis who did make the short list at one point. And so I just so much love in my heart for everyone who has engaged with this project in some way, shape, or form. And for you, Rob, for putting the trust in me to guide this ship.
Yeah, well, look, Mike, Survivor may not have the rites of passage anymore, but you certainly went on a 3-month rites of passage and went through every single person that has so far ever played this game. And it's all to get us to tonight.
All right. So let's get to tonight, shall we? No more dilly-dallying here, though. On Summer Survivor, we love to dilly-dally. Let's talk about what we're going to do. So, again, many people voted in this final round where we winnowed down the first ballot to the top 50 vote getters. And tonight, I have your top 20, the people that would fill out this theoretical cast of Survivor 50. And of course, we could only reveal this cast in truly the most Survivor-themed way possible. And what's more Survivor-themed than an island-based show that is featuring more and more Survivor alum as the seasons pass? Let's go a little Deal or No Deal-esque, shall we, folks? So,
What's more Survivor themed than an entirely different show?
exactly.
Also set on an island. Maybe next time we could do a Dondi wish list.
Oh.
Ooh, I mean, that's emphasis on short list, but
Start
certainly
tomorrow.
something worth pursuing for a 2-day period. But what I have set up for you tonight, 20 cases in
So
front
fun.
of you.
Obsessed
And no,
with
there
it.
are no dummy amounts. I am making no offers. Everything is
Oh.
final. These are the 20 people in our fan-voted cast of Survivor 50. It's quite simple. Shannon, Rob, you two are in the hot seat.
Oh.
You are going to pick a number.
You're the banker? Are you gonna make a deal, Mike?
No, I'm the Howie here.
Oh.
Could you not tell from like my shiny forehead? But
Yeah.
basically what we're gonna do is you pick a number, I reveal who that person is, and maybe we'll talk about them. And just to be completely transparent, I am going to shuffle the boxes.
Oh,
my gosh, I can't. I'm gonna follow it.
Oh my
You
god.
can do that. I have
Okay.
a friend who can do that on the arcade game, follows it exactly.
Well, what are you
It's
following? The number
unbelievable.
13 where it went?
Yes, but how did you know? Is that a Swifty reference? Because that's where I'm going. Don't pick my 13.
All right. So there you go. You have
Wow.
1 through 20 right now. The world's your oyster. By the end of this, we'll have our full cast of 20. We'll give our thoughts on these people as we go along. And we'll finally put this thing to bed after a, very long night over the course of 3 months.
Okay.
Man, it's been long. Yeah.
All right, Mike, anything else you want to set up? And again, just for to be clear with everybody, I know nothing. I have Mike
And
can
you haven't
testify
heard
to
about
this.
this. Yeah.
I have not wanted to know anything about the vote, how it went, who's on the board. I know exactly the same amount as the viewers and the listeners do.
Yes, there are only 2 people right now who have the skeleton keys to who these 20 people are. Myself and Sam Moore, who I also have to thank alongside Scott St. Pierre and Jess Sterling and everyone in RHAP behind the scenes for making sure all of those daily podcasts went out smooth as silk. And so we are the only ones who know who these 20 are. I will say, I put out on social media a petition that every vote counted, and that was very, very true. The margin between number 20 in the votes and number 21 was 30 votes.
Wow.
Okay.
Out of thousands. So
That is crazy.
you all went
If you
out,
didn't
you went
vote,
to the
you should feel
polls.
bad.
Yeah, we shall see. Listen, everyone has their thoughts about how casts end up at the end of the day, but thank you to everybody who did vote and let their voice be heard, no matter what that voice might be.
Yeah. Also, shout out to all the survivors who mostly have been pretty good sports about this, and
Pretty damn
just
good sportsmanships, man.
taking this for the exercise it is of that it is all in good fun.
Yeah.
I think everyone's had
Exactly.
a lot of fun with it, and everyone's just been like really happy along the ride with no grievances. So that's really good. That's what you want. I
And if
think,
you
everyone
do
has to
have grievances about the cast, at Shannon Gates on Twitter, she is receiving them
No.
all with a smile
that why I'm
and an
here?
open palm.
That's me. That's usually how I accept grievances. With
Okay.
a smile.
All right.
All right.
So we are going here until the top of the hour. Also, 2-hour Big Brother coming up starting at 8 o'clock. I will be live to recap a 2-hour Wednesday night Big Brother coming up at 10:15. So just the start of a long night here on the
Yeah.
podcast.
And we'll get a 2-hour Survivor premiere as well in just a few weeks from now. So it's a good warm-up, Rob.
Okay. All right. Getting ready for my Wednesday night marathons.
All right.
Who
Well,
gets
let's.
to pick first, and how do we decide that?
It's up to the 2 of you.
Should we scissors paper rock?
Shannon, no, just go. Whatever. Pick a random number. It's 1 to
I'm
20.
happy to scissors paper rock.
Nope. Just
Best
go.
of
We don't
one.
have all
Alright,
the
I want
time in the
number
world.
13. I want number 13.
All right. We're starting off with number 13. Let's see if this is a lucky pick for Shannon. Our first contestant on Survivor 50 is Angelina.
Oh,
Wow.
what a pick I got.
A banger
this is
to open
exciting.
up.
Yes.
Okay. What are Mike? Are we learning anything else here other than this is one of the people?
I will not disclose any other information. You could certainly ask questions
Okay.
along the way, but I do reserve the right to plead the fifth. Any surprises to see Angelina on here to make her way back to reality TV after her sterling scripted cameo in The White Lotus season 2?
Not a surprise here for me. I mean, I didn't draw up a list and full disclosure, I did not vote. Don't get mad at me.
You didn't vote after I just said you
no.
should feel bad if you didn't vote. You should feel bad.
Didn't feel like it was my place.
It is your place. Are you a watcher of the show?
I mean, he did have a place on the ballot.
Yeah. So no, this is not a surprise for me. I feel like that this was like one of the people when you talk about like who should come back for a season, who should have already been brought back.
Yeah.
Can
100%.
I have your Angelina, please?
I think we found out in Summer Survivor.
Dealer,
It's actually not can I have your.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Angelina, one of the most snubbed people by COVID. By the
Truly,
new
Angelina,
format.
yes, one of the people most screwed by COVID in the history
In
of humanity.
Survivor returnee terms. Obvious. Don't send people to complain to me and then put words in my mouth that will be taken to the out of context account and look bad. No, I mean, like, there are some people from not Ghost Island, it's early, from David versus Goliath, who would be like 3-time players had they played in 27, if not 37. But they're 1-time players because we did like Winners at War, and then we went to the new era. So those are people who have to come back soon, and I expect them on the ballot definitely, and Angelina is definitely one of them. So yeah,
Great pick, Shannon.
thank you. I'm
did
pretty
this.
happy with it. This is going to be teams, right?
You
And then
did
we'll vote
this.
on who has the best team.
Oh, I like this. Yes, the voice
Tribes.
style.
These are the tribes.
I will
right.
competitive this up.
All right, Rob, then let's start drafting for your
Okay.
tribe. Who's next?
Steven in the chat, not Steven Fishback. Steven C said Rob needs to pick 6. So shout out to my friends back at the Amazon. It's Butch's birthday today. Shout out.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Butch Lockley.
Hope he's
right.
blowing out
Give
some
me-
candles.
Give me number 6.
All
All
yes.
right, Rob does a pick 6, which is hopefully not any that Aaron Rodgers will throw in the NFL season. Kelly
Wow,
Wentworth!
okay.
The mother
Okay.
Not
quake
bad.
continues.
Not a bad pick.
I feel like people will be divided on
Yes.
the picks that have played multiple times.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
for me, Kelly, if you're going to have someone who's played multiple times, Kelly's like at the top of that list for me. I feel like she's always good TV. I always love seeing her back. She was someone I wanted to see back. I just feel like a lot of people want 1-timers, a lot of people want old school, but I love Kelly.
Yeah. I cannot quibble with the pick at all. But now correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that Kelly has said she does not want to play again.
Don't do that now.
But
This is pretty intense research.
did she clarify that?
I contacted her privately, and she told
The
me at the
research.
time that she actually would be more up
Okay.
for it.
All right then.
Nice. Now we know.
This
Mike,
is
your
great
journalism.
news.
Your commitment to journalism, like you in that tie as well, like you're professional.
Now,
Right.
we know all good journalists wear ties. That's our foot in the door.
Yep, that's it. That's the one metric of that.
Okay.
Okay, well, great.
This is
I'm
a great
excited
start
about
to the
Wentworth.
season.
Yeah, this is good. This
I
is
mean,
good.
it's an interesting representation, though, of especially what we saw with the top 50, the various capacities that people voted in. And it certainly garnered a lot of comments as to we really cut a wide swath of like, with not knowing the theme of 50, is it legends? Is it best to never win? Is it second chance? Is it only new era? Giving people kind of carte blanche to vote, the results were understandably scattered. And that's already reflecting here on our cast. And that we have a 4-time player in this case and someone who hasn't returned yet.
I will
Okay.
say my one gripe. I want her on Australian Survivor. She covered Australian Survivor with me this year. I want her for us. Like, don't take her. You have so many people, but that's a gripe. The chat is saying Mother Convention already.
Mother Convention.
Going
All
back
right.
to early Summer Survivor. Let's see if we can keep it rolling. I didn't have much of a choice after 13. I'm gonna go 5. My cat's birthday.
All
October
right. Let's see who Kelly's next door neighbor is. TBird!
T-Bird! Oh,
Wow. Look how we keep it rolling.
Yes.
There
Incredible.
we go. We are doing what unfortunately the public could not. Nearly a decade ago,
Wow.
the fans have given Teresa T-Bird Cooper officially her second chance on Survivor 50.
Yes. Justice, finally, all
Yeah.
these years later. I mean, that T-Bird would rock it. She would be so great. She is such a wonderful energy and just like the nicest person ever. But she's competitive. She'd slit your throat. But she's so nice.
Don't tell people that right before 50. I guess
Mhm.
you whispered it, so it's fine. No, I feel like
There's not any Survivor players watching, Shannon.
oh, for sure.
This
No,
is
they don't
just
care
for
about
the
this. They don't
fans.
care about the players don't care about what the fans think, which is good.
Mhm.
T-Bird, I hope the production look at this and realize that I don't know what went wrong in 31 with the vote. But T-Bird should have been on the season. It was a great season anyway. But T-Bird should be on Survivor again. I hope they know that we want T-Bird on the show. Old school, one time, non-winner. That's what most people want.
Yeah.
T-Bird, like
Not to
absolutely representing.
Not to mention as well, I think an old schooler that has a lot of connections to the new era. Certainly someone that watches all the seasons and obviously has many connections throughout basically every era of Survivor. You know, she really is a constant through this equation, just through all the connections that she's been able to make. And yeah, her energy, somebody should bottle that, because just the joie de vivre that she contains has me certainly going for miles and miles every time I listen to her.
Just one of the greatest people ever, T-Bird.
All right. Rob, you're probably disappointed that you couldn't add T-Bird to your team, but let's add another one.
Are there even any men on this season? Is this did you all
if
vote
Twitter
in
has
all
anything to say
women?
about it.
Oops, all women for Survivor 50? I mean, that's very progressive. Could you imagine if that was the theme? All
For
women?
I don't think they should call it that.
What would they call it? No men? No men island?
Yeah, that's
No
really
men
like
allowed.
a
You can have
soft way
one
to do it.
man.
We're not
No
going to,
men.
that's really market testing of like, well, we're not going to say all women, but if we say no men, that might come across as
No,
a better message.
Survivor 50. No men allowed. Okay.
That sounds actually pretty good.
People would like it. Okay. All right.
Some people would hate it.
Shannon,
Chris
who
in the
are
chat
you going to
says-
draft in Survivor All Women?
Oh.
Wow, I'm really coping strays. I woke up early for this crossover, okay?
All right. The chat says Rob got to pick 10 for our birthday month. Thank you, Chris. Okay.
That's my
Over
cat's birthday
10.
month.
I love how you're doing this Price is Right style of just looking to the audience of what numbers
Well,
to
Mike,
pick.
is there a better system to base the random number picking on?
I don't know. You watch Dondi. Don't people come up with asinine
They're
strategies all
like,
the time?
I'm getting like a feeling from number 14.
All of
We're going to
it.
open all of them. It's not like we're going to pick 2 and they're not going to get on the cast.
That's true.
There's
I mean,
no
imagine if
there's-
they did the Cambodia vote like
Yeah.
that.
there's no whammy in there. I don't think.
I mean,
Well, maybe
your
it's
mileage
you.
may vary.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that you should have showed us and then turned it so we could follow it, but then I'm like, no, then we would have seen the whole cast.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Number 10 for Rob is.
Oh!
Oh!
Nailed
No!
it. Oh, don't you have a strategy?
Oh, I hate
Don't-
this guy. I'm sad. I'm sad to not have you on my team.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
my cat's birthday
What
month.
were
That's
the
why I was gonna go
chances?
next.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
What are
incredible.
the chances? Like,
I mean,
Yeah,
could
what
we
are the
just
chances? 50%.
could we? I mean, maybe we should stop down on just for a moment to
Mhm.
acknowledge this achievement
Yeah.
that on a poll of Rob as a podcast listeners,
Yeah. Which Rob is that?
Rob Cesternino
Yeah.
has gotten in the top 20 of a vote.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Well, I'm glad, because if that hadn't have happened, like,
That'd
you'd
look
probably never
worse.
play
That
again.
would look
Like,
worse.
that would be it for
Yeah.
you. You'd never get to play ever. They'd
That
be
would
like,
be
wow,
so much
even his
worse.
own
That's what, yeah, we're
listeners-
coming up all dressed up with nowhere to go.
Was
Truly
he
flattered.
first? I want to know.
Well, I don't think we're gonna find
All right,
that out.
Shan.
Yeah.
Tell me.
No, truly flattering. Thank you all so much for the many people that voted for me to come back. Truly an honor.
There we go.
Yeah. And I do think as well, in Survivor No Men Allowed, where you're allowed one man, like the
One
one
man.
homer and the no homers
Yeah, the
club,
no homers club.
Rob is great for that. Rob and all
Mhm.
women. And I think Nicole will be happy with that too.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Well, I was gonna
That's-
have T-Bird host the Know-It-Alls while I was gone, but now
Hey!
totally.
wow. Oh, I
Mhm.
hope you're first out.
Well, there we go. So the first two
Yeah.
picks, we got 2 mothers. We've got 2 podcasters as well.
Mhm.
Pretty evenly divided.
I think we have 4 mothers. Rob's mother. I think we decided that when we did.
Well, didn't we
learn
figure
what
out
mother
was he father or Zaddy? We never did that.
He
podcast.
was both. Okay, Rob, well
Uh,
done. Congrats to you.
Yes.
Congrats,
thank you.
Rob. Very well
How do
done.
you
No,
feel?
I am extremely flattered by the response, and so thank you. Thank you so much to the people that think that would be a good idea.
Yeah. I feel like I won because my season that I covered with you, Mike, Amazon, got someone on.
Mhm.
Rob.
There you go. That
That's
was your
what it's
long
about.
game. That's what you wanted at the end of the day. Representation, Rob-presentation, if you will. And here we have it. Shannon, back to you. You lost out on having Rob on your team, but there are
this is
plenty
it.
of
I've
stars
lost.
out there.
No, I'm done. Are there any other good numbers? I mean, that was all of
I
the
think
Cat
so. I
birthday
bet there are. Yeah.
numbers.
I'm
I'm
sure
gonna
that-
do the number 1 ranked season of Survivor. Season 20. Give me 20.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Going on to 20. We have Jesse
Okay.
Jesse
Lopez.
Lopez.
Back to
Okay.
back Caroliners here.
Yes.
Evening
All
out the
right.
gender distribution now.
And our first new era representative on the season.
Okay, I wonder when we get done with the 20, how many new era, how many classic era
we'll
are
have
we going to
find
get?
that out. I mean, we can do the quick math.
But
yeah.
Jesse, another one, I think that in the same camp as Angelina of like when you say like, all right, quick, off the top of your head, who are people that they should bring back? Jesse, very much top of mind. I think another great job by the voters.
Yeah, I do think that
Yeah.
Jesse, when you look back, even through 6 seasons of the new era, and you're asked like, and again, this is only one theme, but like, who are some of the best players to never win in recent memory? Jesse is certainly someone that comes to mind, considering just how wide of a swath he cut into the game of Survivor 43, being behind what Jeff Probst calls a Hall of Fame Mount Rushmore move, one of the biggest betrayals in Survivor history, and obviously has a big chance for redemption in the way that he went out in fire. I'd be intrigued to see Jesse on a return of, obviously he was able to disguise a lot of what he was doing behind the scenes because he wasn't really suspected of doing any of that. I do wonder that now that people know what Jesse is capable of, if that is something he can necessarily do the second time. But Jesse's also a very nice and personable guy as well, that he might be able to get over his reputation preceding him.
Yeah.
It'll be very fun to watch.
Well, you won't be watching. You'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll be
sure.
watching. I hope he's the one who cuts you. What you said about
But
the
yeah,
no
great job by the voters.
Yeah, and now we're getting to the whole Riley alliance. I think with the Riley alliance now, with Jesse, I feel like he could come onto a bunch of different themes, right? Like we don't know where they're gonna go, but if it's modern, which we think it might be, if it's like a second chance, he'd be great for that. Even for like legends, if they want modern people, Jesse has loomed very large.
Yeah.
With how he controlled 43, so
Okay.
he's a good
Yeah.
pick. What
My
it's
guy-
your pick.
My guy Chris in the chat saying, Rob, I'm feeling 13. Chris, they already picked 13. That was Angelina.
It was a great
I think
pick.
He's not even available.
He's just giving his age, Rob.
I feel well. You
15.
should be in bed.
15. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. In honor of my amazing run in All-Star, says Rudd, give me number 8.
All right, let's move over.
Left side of the board is very lonely.
All right, well, let's see who the first member of Team Left is here.
Shan Smith. Wow.
Another new era mastermind.
A good one.
Shan. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this, that season 41, is sort of remembered a bit oddly, and just all the stuff that it brought about, a lot of new in the new era as to what characters stick around in the minds of the fans. Shan is absolutely one of them.
Okay. Shan was really just such an important figure in Survivor 41. In a lot of ways, it's her story until it's not. And even there's like in the wake of her not being there, she cast such a large shadow over the season. I am a little surprised in terms of I am thrilled to see her on the list, but I wasn't sure necessarily that she had the support of the voters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, we'll certainly get into this. I think that sometimes social media footprint does not necessarily represent, fan support. That there are people that, regardless of like whether or not they still talk about the show, that they still loom large in the minds when people think, especially about the new era. Shan was only on 3 years ago. Seems like a lifetime.
Feels like a lifetime, yeah. It's good that she's like stayed present in the votes then. I mean, that's only a year before 43, and we aren't surprised by Jesse, but 41 does seem like a long time ago.
Yeah.
I also thought with Shan, there might have been like some production question marks, whether she'd even be put on the ballot, and now she's here in the top 20. So I think if she can get past any of the drama, she is a good pick. I mean, she had her own theme song.
Yeah.
How many people can we say that
I'm
for?
excited to see her there. When we did the draft back in the beginning of the summer of try to guess the cast draft, that Shan was somebody I took on my draft team because I thought she was
I said that was crazy then.
She was such a standout there, and now I'm being proven right, Shannon.
Well, this isn't the actual cast, Rob. Like this is like you're going
I thought it
to
was.
Fiji right after.
Okay,
this.
I'm gonna
We didn't
unpack
drink, did
now.
we?
One vote. Yeah. Go
All
pack.
right.
This is it. Also,
Well-
now we have a Rob and a Shan. We need a mic.
Unfortunately, no mics made it on to the top 50.
Okay.
I'm all
Okay.
the mic you need, baby.
Okay, well.
All right. Back
All
to
right.
Shannon.
A lot of people in the chat have a lot of things they want me to pick with a lot of cats' birthdays. It's hard to choose all of you. I'm going to go 2 because I have 2 cats.
All right, number 2 for the kitties.
Okay. Venus
There we
Vafa.
go.
Wow.
From one big new era character from the early period of the new
Yes.
era to a later new era period character, Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this
This is not
one-
surprising.
Yeah. With the big fan support, Venus.
Support
Yeah.
as big as a planet, I would say. I mean, Venus definitely, and it's even tough to say considering the personality-filled cast of 46, but definitely one of the bigger personalities, had this storyline of becoming an outsider and fighting against and taking out the people that she felt ostracized by, only to be one of the many people to go out, nearly several, with an idol in her pocket. There's a lot of second chance qualities from somebody like Venus. And look, I saw some people in the chat saying like, well, I wanted to vote Shan on because she'd bring the drama. Venus would make Shan look like an episode
Yeah.
of Full House.
Well, okay. Weird analogy, but I get what you're going. I think
Have
that
mercy.
this is an interesting one because I feel like there'll be a lot of people kind of upset now that we've done 3 new eras in a row, but those people wouldn't be upset about Venus. So I feel like some people are torn right now. It's like it's getting
Well-
very modern, but
Mhm.
for Venus, it's okay.
She's a new era player that I think represents an old school value that I know a lot of people were talking
What,
about.
drama?
Yeah, I think
Fighting?
this idea of like being very open, having, being able to bring conflict into an era that I think is mistakenly kind of regarded as like too ooey gooey, sappy. Venus is somebody that I think helped contribute to the feeling of 46 feeling like a season outside of the new era.
Okay.
But
Wow.
much like Shan, from a drama perspective, like, would they? Maybe they'll just have to like take her Twitter password and put her on the show. Let it play out on the
You
island.
want to know what you're playing for? This is the two-factor authentication to Venus's Twitter
Mhm.
account.
Okay. All right. Wow. So, all right, back to me. And bottom row is very unopened. So I
Mhm.
want to like fix that. And so
Yeah, of course. So important. Symmetry.
I am going to say in honor of let's say go for 18 for Steven.
Actually, would be JT based on J Cocaine's.
I didn't say
Mhm.
this was
Numerology
the J
system?
cocaine system.
Well, it's implied. It's
Yes.
implied.
Okay. How about let's just
But
go with a 16 people.
All right.
39 days.
Actually, 18 and 26 now.
One.
Person going onto your team who is
Amanda Kimmel. Wow.
That's genuinely shocking to me.
So you talk about, I didn't know how people would get on without any social media footprint. Amanda Kimmel is like that second set of footprints that disappears on the beach. She's somehow walking
What,
beside
she's
you.
carrying us?
Wow, Reddit cannot be stopped, and good for them. And good for them.
Amanda Kimmel.
I'm genuinely like this is like love Amanda Kimmel. What she contributed to the show in the middle age of Survivor is incredibly important. Not her middle age.
Don't call her
the
middle age.
No,
So I'm sure
genuinely-
Shannon, she's older than your denoted middle
Yeah.
age of 35.
This is
Well,
like
that's what Google said.
this is so interesting, Amanda Kimmel. So
Yes,
okay,
for many reasons.
Amanda Kimmel is out there. I feel
Amanda
like
was in the top 50. When did that
she's
happen?
she not only is she like, hey, who's Shan, but she's also like,
You know
who's
these people?
T-Bird?
You know, yeah.
She is
I mean,
in the
look,
middle.
She's in the
like,
middle.
if
She
Harvey
doesn't know the
said
people
she'd know
before.
her-
She doesn't know the people after.
He could know Sari.
She's like, where's Rupert?
Yeah. Ruben, is Ruben
Where's
not in the
James?
top 50?
Do I get to play with James again? I
Why-
can only
is
play
James
with James.
here? Yeah.
This is shocking for the reason of like I feel like people are against it when it's like the multi-time legends, but then like with the name recognition of like the Parvati's and stuff, you think they're just gonna get through. But for Amanda to get through,
I mean,
I
well,
guess there's like a niche
Well,
quality.
we don't
to
know.
that.
We don't know
Well-
if Parvati's here or not.
well, that's the thing, though.
Well,
is
that's
like,
the, yeah,
yes,
we don't know. but
yes,
yeah,
Amanda
that
played
would
3
be
times.
more.
Amanda played 3 times in 5 seasons. She has not been on since 2010.
Yeah.
We have had 2 U.S. presidents since Amanda
Since
Kimmel
high
has
school.
played Survivor.
That's crazy to me. I mean, she and Parvati like they were the duo.
Mm-hmm.
We love
Yep,
them.
I remember.
I love
I
them.
do
You
think-
remember Amanda Kimmel from Survivor.
What I've also found some interesting discourse around when it comes to these votes is like, I kind of feel like low-key Amanda Kimmel, though obviously the big joke is that she can never win. She made it to back-to-back final tribal councils and lost in the end. I do feel like the new era game, like the emergent playstyle, is not too dissimilar from like the way Amanda used to play, right? Which is like, be a stable personality, don't be too much of a threat, get in with a good alliance, and then make your way to the end. And so I actually think Amanda can if she brings
She's
the same
probably
set of
going to
skills-
win.
Yeah, if she brings the same set of skills in, well, we know she'll place at least second.
Good night, everybody.
Rob, you should know that. Take it to the end. You can win. I'm just saying for your season because you're going out to Fiji tonight. Get the bag. I think, like for Amanda, there could be a fun theme around like old versus new school, and she would represent part of that. But from like a legend season, you think that like maybe others would get in. She's not a one-time player. Like I'm just trying to find the theme. I think old versus new. That's the one for Amanda. I didn't expect it, but look, the Amanda the standards can't be defeated. So good job, Amanda Kimmel, who I think
good job to them. Good job turning out.
She campaigned, right? So
okay. All right.
Yes. You don't remember all the concerted efforts of Amanda Kimmel flying banner planes over every continent on the globe?
I got it Amanda Kimmel here in Australia.
Okay. All right. We still have to get through what? We got 12 more to go. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Shannon,
I'll
it's
do
back to
18
you.
for Steven because I love Steven.
All right, this next pick is going out to Steven Fishback, and it is Dominic Abate.
Okay.
Good pick.
Yeah.
From one runner-up to another.
No, that's great for Dom Abate. I had kind of thought that just like sort of like thinking it through, thought that maybe Dominic Abate had kind of got left behind. I think that he was a shoo-in to come back after 36, but then immediately followed by 37, all the people from 37 and people from 38, and then the new era. And then I thought that maybe he was a little bit forgotten in the minds of the voters, but they did not forget.
Well, I also think, he has this appearance on the Challenge USA because he's pretty much like, I don't know when I'm coming back to Survivor. And it was pretty unmemorable and is kind of largely regarded alongside the shit show of an ending. But yeah, I think the idea of what Dominic brought to Ghost Island, and especially the fact that he is the person that has come closest to winning. I know Amanda has gotten there twice, but Dominic was one laurel away from $1 million prize. There's a lot of appeal in that storyline. Some feel he is one of the best players to never win the game, and I think he is a shoo-in for that type of theme.
Yep. Yeah. Good pick by the voters. Good job.
I do think that as we talk about that era, like if no COVID happens and they keep going with the way they were going on returning seasons and they have one in like 43, like Dom's played multiple times by now, more than 2 probably. So I don't want him to get overlooked. I don't want it to be like new era or not. It should be modern if we're going that way. And Dom fits into that.
All right.
So you're happy or no, Shannon?
No, I am happy. I love Dom.
All right.
I think he's a good pick. I think he got screwed over by COVID, the most screwed over by anyone.
Okay.
You're just bringing it on to yourself at this point, Shannon.
No, I'm just... God, sarcasm doesn't come across.
All right, we just picked Angelina. We just picked Dom Abate. Who's in the middle? Number 17 for my favorite Met, Keith Hernandez.
All right, let's see. Will we be spinning on this pick or not? Let's see. Number 17 is... Natalie Bolton.
What a week for Natalie Bolton.
Yes, Micronesia.
Of course, she appeared on Dropout recently alongside Sari and Parvati and Ethan. Just came out of the woodwork. She was in, I think it was Out Magazine. She did that random photo shoot with Parvati. It really is the year of Natalie Bolton, evidently.
Yeah. Ready for the comeback.
I
Here
hope
we go.
production see that the fans have been demanding for Natalie to come back for decades now, for so long.
And it's not cooling down anytime soon.
I love the Black Widow Brigade reunion that we're having here in the boxes. Not Dom Abate. But if we move it over, Amanda and Natalie. The fans have wanted Natalie Bolton back for so long. As you said, she is doing things, making sure she's, being seen, wants to be on TV. Like, do you think Natalie Bolton truly will ever play Survivor again? Like, in your heart of hearts, yes or no?
I'm going to manifest it.
This is like, do you think so?
I mean, look, that if you would have asked me a year ago, I would say probably not. But, things are changing.
Yeah, she got voted into this poll.
Natalie
think
Bolton
that
has
the fans
increased
want
her
Natalie.
public
She's on
appearances.
TV. She's
That's the thing. She's increased her public appearances 300% between like 2008 to 2023 and 2024. So if there was ever a time to appear back in the public
you got to
sphere,
roll
it's
with the
now.
punches, Shannon. A couple of months ago, it looked like Joe Biden was running for president.
We don't get that over here in Australia. I haven't been following
things change.
Yeah.
Okay, that's such a random analogy.
They should have a polling question of how does that resonate for you in the bedroom?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. They don't think.
Or
they
in the
should do
closet. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Everyone
fans want Natalie Bolton. She was always getting on this ballot, I feel.
Everyone go check out Dirty Laundry on Dropout, by the way. It's a very fun time, and you learn some things about Survivor contestants that we still didn't know about them going on 20 years. All right, Shannon, back to you.
All right. Does someone have a cat's birthday that they want to give me?
Ask the chat if anyone has a cat's birthday.
That's what the chat's been giving me. Okay, I'll do 3 because there's 3 of us. The 3 amigos that have been here all summer doing this.
All right, number 3 for Shannon is
Todd Herzog. All right.
All right, Amanda, you got your buddy back. It is Todd.
Wow, we're really doing
Okay, Amanda's going to know at least somebody else. Okay, good.
Does she remember Todd? Does she remember?
I think she would.
Yeah, she would probably remember Todd. Look, Todd gave me that great pop. That was awesome.
Whoa.
Todd's pop. Todd's side hustle of, I guess, the first one being a Survivor winner and the second one being his job of making the pops is great. I love my pop. Thank you, Todd.
No, Todd Herzog coming back.
And a great character. Yeah.
You know, a great one-time player who it would be, I think, just iconic for him to return in this spot.
I mean, I think when he played on China, I remember, it was the first time since like the days of Richard Hatch and Brian Heidick that people were saying like, oh, this is a strategic villainous character that went on to win the season. Todd, of course, an incredibly unique perspective as well. He was this like young gay Mormon flight attendant. And then, of course, a huge journey for Todd off the show where he, succumbs to addiction and was able to overcome that and is now sober and is doing incredibly well. And I think it'd be so incredible. Todd is such a big fan of this game as well, even from when he played to now. And I think we unfortunately missed that boat in Winners at War, but we're coming back around to the dock for 50, and I hope Todd gets on.
This is the first winner that we've seen revealed?
This is the first winner.
Okay. All right. Fans seemingly did not vote winners.
We'll see. We still have... We're halfway there. Could be all the winners at the end here.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Is it back to me?
Either,
no, it's back to Shannon now. You just made your pick.
Okay.
No, I picked Todd. I said the 3 best friends, us the 3 amigos, and
3
then it was
best friends.
Todd.
Okay.
Yeah, how could you forget that? It was very memorable.
All right. Let's see. Don't know if any of these. Give me number 12. I saw Joe Namath.
All right, number 12. Who will be number dirty dozen here? It is.
Yeah. Oh, look, Angelina. What's happening? There's a little alliance thing here.
We got a David next to a Goliath.
Yep.
Yes, the most screwed by COVID of anyone. Christian Ubicki would be a 5-time player if they had kept going.
Christian would be a mainstay. He would just be he'd be the Johnny Bananas of New Era Survivor.
It is crazy to think how many times Christian would have played if he played in 27 instead of 37.
Somebody else who I think you make a short list of people that deserve to come back and should have been brought back. And I think that Christian is right there at the top of that list. And so great job by the voters to recognize that and make their voice heard that Christian should be back.
And knowing Christian's endurance, I think Christian could just talk for 26 days straight. Now that the game is a lot shorter, he can just filibuster the entire time. He doesn't need a break like he did in David versus Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for the Christian.
The comptroller of Slamtown. He's here.
That we're getting on the season. That is definitely happening with these people. But if Christian doesn't play Survivor again, something is wrong with the world.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Probably. Now, I believe it's back to Shannon.
Yeah, fair enough. Will in the chat says 15 for Taylor Swift. Taylor has a lot of numbers. One of them is 15. When you're 15, I'm going to pick that box.
She gets 13 and 15?
She has a lot of numbers.
All right. Shannon's next pick is... Caleb.
Okay. A shot in the dark by Shannon. Hits.
Yes. Great pick.
Yeah.
Really excellent pick.
Very
I
fun.
think. Yes. I think people really want Caleb back. I think he's
Mhm.
exceptional casting. I wish we'd gotten to see more. I feel like he and Emily defined the first half of the season, then he goes home. He has a very memorable shot in the dark moment, but he also has more than that. I'm really excited about Caleb. This was someone I wanted to see. This was someone I got on my team.
Yeah, I think regarded as one of the biggest underdogs of the past couple of seasons, in particular, like you said, contributes to one of the first big advantage-based moments that we have in the new era, and somebody that still gets talked about as sort of like not only the definition of charisma, but also how that can work both for and against you in the game. Caleb has kind of dealt a raw hand from pretty much beginning to end of his time on Survivor, culminating in the fact that he kind of gets screwed in that split tribal council. So I think he also has a lot of there, if you will, when it comes to the possibility of coming back.
Yeah, and Caleb is the person who made me adjust my sparkle ranking. I'm like, oh, a sparkly person, that person will win. Then I met Caleb, literally said hi to him. He walked away. I said, I see why they voted him out. He seems like a jerk. No, he's way too charismatic. I think he'll have to be less charismatic on the comeback because it's so evident.
Yeah,
if he can dull himself a little bit, I think
when you bring back a ton of people who have sparkle, it's not necessarily that Caleb stands out so much.
The diamond mind of a season.
I genuinely think Caleb is that sparkly. He needs to be a little less sparkly. It's my one note. Then I think he could
tone it down.
Is there going to be a little bit of competition, much like David Jennett had with Harry in Australian Survivor All-Stars, of like, are Caleb and Kelly going to have ops with each other because one, ironically enough, nullified the other's record for most votes nullified by an advantage?
Yeah, I don't think they're nerdy enough to care about that. Like, I would care. For sure,
Christian might care.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Back to Rob here.
We have
several left.
Okay, in honor of Jelinski, I can't believe that we let it go this far. Give me a box number several.
A legendary
That's also
number.
Another Taylor Swift number.
And hopefully a legend behind it. Number several is...
Omar. No, what about my team? Yay, Omar.
No, you don't. He'd troll you the entire time.
I don't care. Yay, Omar.
Good for Omar.
Yes, we're all very happy about this.
Yeah. I'd be intrigued to see. Again, I think much like Jesse, the really fun thing about Omar was that a lot of people were unsuspecting with the stuff that he was pulling off behind the scenes, especially in that post-merge. I'd be intrigued to see, again, now that people kind of know him as one of the better players of the new era, if he'd be able to pull that off. And also, to be candid, how much of the absolutely lovably messy, chaotic persona that we see of him across all these podcasts and games, how much would that translate to a second season?
Yeah, he is somebody who looked like that they were on their way in Survivor 42. Marianne makes her big move. Takes out Omar, and would be incredible to see Omar get a second chance. Good, another good job by the voters.
Yeah, very upset not to have him on my team with This Is Teams. One of my favorite people on the planet.
All right, but now this is where things are starting to get a little tense. Okay.
Yeah, where we only have 6 spots left. We had back-to-back Canadian.
No, this is getting very stressful, actually.
All right.
Yeah, I'm really stressed.
All right. Well, Shannon,
don't make a bad pick.
The stress is on you right now. You get another pick here. Who are you going to pick?
I think some people want the winner of this season back. So I'm going to say 14.
14. All right. Number 14 is...
Devens.
Where does he fall on the screwed by COVID scale, Shannon?
Very high. They were going to make a whole season around him being the banker, right? Like, he was going to be the banker of Survivor. So
wow, wait a minute. Could Survivor have done Dondi first? Were we actually careening towards a path where Survivor became Dondi?
I don't think he was the banker. I think he was like the general store clerk.
Yeah, that's fairly similar.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. So it was going to be about fire tokens. Yeah, so there was going to be money involved, I guess. Like, look, there's people who have a reaction to this, as they always do with Rick Devens. I love Rick Devens.
And that's also why he's been voted through, is that was also his edit throughout Survivor Edge of Extinction. The post-merge was dictated by this guy.
Big personality in season 38, recipient of the Sia Money, hosted the On Fire podcast during season, 45? He was the host of the podcast there. Seemed like, Jeff was very complimentary of Rick all through that whole process. So Rick's a fun guy.
Yeah, and you have
People
that
love him.
You have that redemption appeal as well of, again, he was on his path to somehow, through idols and immunity wins and tribal council shenanigans, being able to get his way to the end of the game. And then a man stepped in by the name of Chris Underwood, and the guy who was voted out and came back to the game ends up losing in fire to the guy who was voted out right before him and came back into the game.
Yeah, please stop reminding us of that. I think that with Devens, I love Devens. He's someone who will play again. Like, Jeff loves Devens, clearly, as we've said. The only thing that's stressing me out is how few spots we have left and how many people we have to fit in them. That's stressing me out. And people will have a reaction. I really love Rick Devens, and I think he's definitely going to play and could fit onto multiple seasons. You know, the second chance of it all, the way that it went down as a fallen angel, one-time player, modern, could even be around like a legend thing as like a very modern big game personality. I think I got him on my draft team. I think he was like my first. He was one of my first draft picks because I really think he'll come back.
Well, you can check it out behind the
Here he
patron
is.
wall if you want
And
to
I
hear
don't
the
remember.
full draft and get back up to speed.
Okay. All right. 5 picks left. I'm going to go with number 1. Numero
1.
uno.
And we have...
Carolyn!
There we go. What some people might consider the number 1 chalk pick to come back from the new era. Carolyn Weiger from season 44. Let out some noises like you're wont to do. You have made it to the top 20 of Survivor 50.
Carolyn, of course, what a standout in Survivor 44. Instant returnee, but then I guess the only monkey wrench is that she went and played on the Traitors. And I think that that's just a question of, is that a factor?
From what I have heard, and even looking at last season of the Traitors, CT was on the Traitors on TV from like January to March, and then went to go play the Challenge 40.
I don't think it's
more that they just be like annoyed.
Yeah,
but Carolyn's above it. They want Carolyn.
At first, I kind of thought it would be, but then I feel like, who cares now? But maybe if it's on when they're making the decision.
I also do wonder, even more so maybe than Jesse and Omar. I mean, Carolyn was able to really prevail from this unsuspecting persona of, I'm just the wacky comedic relief, when really she was, again, doing so much great strategic stuff behind the scenes to a point where it even gets called out by her closest ally. Again, is that something that people will more so be onto when she comes back? Or once again, will that personality kind of supersede everything that is happening and she'll be able to, again, craft another great game?
She's a great pick. You got to have Carolyn.
Carolyn's going to play Survivor so many times. So many times. It's going to happen. This is a realistic pick. She's going to be on that show.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there's so many people. I'm stressing
left.
now. Like, there can't be 4. They need to be like 24.
That's just you as an Australian speaking to that.
Yeah, well, that's what we need. Oh my God, this is so stressful. We're not going to get everyone we want. I'm stressed. I'll go 4 based on just saying 4 a bunch.
Yeah, to manifest the 4 people that could not make the list. Shannon, and number 4 is
Cass.
Cass.
Okay.
McCurran.
People love Cass.
People love Cass. Yeah.
Cass, 100% chance of making the top 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
that shows the staying power.
And Cass has said she wants to do it again?
She has said that she's wanted to do it.
Okay. Well, that's exciting.
Look at the tie he's wearing. He knows what's going on.
I know but that's why I asked him.
Yes, I believe she said a few months back, she's like, my kid's graduating high school, but as long as it lines up with those dates, I want to do it.
Okay.
See, now this is what's stressing me out. Like, I love Cass, but I'm like being like all the people in the chat and the voters where I can't stop thinking about like who's going to miss out. And it's really stressing me out. I don't want that to take away from Cass.
Yeah.
I mean, having
this is a loaded cast.
Yeah, I mean, Cass, Angelina, Venus, and Shan on the same season. And then Natalie Bolton in the background flossing with jugulars, like, woo! Jeff Probst, I'm sorry, villains are here to stay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Right.
Is it back?
Oh
Is it back to me?
3 picks left. I'm stressed.
Yes, it's back to you, Rob.
All right. September is the month that Survivor is going to premiere. Give me number 9.
Number 9. In between you and Shan, we have Charlie.
This number. There you go.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
So
the
people
Charlie, the second person from Survivor 46 so far, right?
Second person to make it so far from Survivor 46, yet another runner-up. I think obviously looms large in the mind of fans because many feel was, for many reasons, perhaps left out of a win there at the end, but someone who played an incredibly stable strategic game, one of the calming forces amidst the torrid waves around him. There's a lot of appeal, I think, to Charlie coming back for a second time, considering how close he got to winning the last time.
Yeah, Charlie fits into a bunch of themes as well. Chad is saying he could link up with Dominic Abate, the almost winners.
I mean, if we have, imagine the final three of Charlie, Amanda, and Dom, of like, you gotta vote for one of us. One of us has to win here.
More of that. It's second 2015. My brother's birthday was on day 39 of season 31 in real time. And I wrote like a 15-page document about what I thought was happening, and I made like a final tribal council loser alliance, and it was Wu and Steven and Kelly Wigglesworth, and Steven won. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so we just manifested that. We have one winner on the whole thing
so far.
Yeah, people didn't want to vote in winners.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it in a few. We still have
all right, 2 more boxes.
I love
to
Charlie
open.
as well, so I love all these people.
We have one man and one woman left.
Okay, Shannon, do you think you know who the man is and who the woman is?
I mean, there's so many people it could and should be.
I think I know who the man is.
Q?
And The Man is a song by Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Who the woman? I think I know who the woman is. I think I'm gonna.
Where's Sari?
I'm gonna. Yeah.
I'm just looking at this list. Yeah. Well, there's only 2 choices. I might manifest Davey here by saying this number the only way I can only say it to quote him. 11. Still quote Davey saying that.
All right, number 11 is.
Sari.
Yeah.
That was the woman that I thought.
Where's Marianne? Is there no women left?
I think that maybe the voters said no to winners.
And Sari famously, somehow, not one. Oh, that's upsetting.
I mean, listen, when you talk about either a legend season or best to never win, she was quite literally called this by Jeff Probst.
I got
at
Sari.
one point. People want to see Sari back after, a long 70+ days in the Big Brother house. They say, Sari, we need you back on the beach.
Look, I love Sari more than like life itself, so I'm really happy to have her on my team. She'd be on every season of Survivor. It was just like, I feel like it was a cruel thing to have like Sari be my last pick, where I'm like happy I got Sari, but then I'm thinking about all the people we didn't get. So like I have these dual emotions, as many of the voters I'm sure do. But yeah, Sari Fields is my like reason for living. So yeah.
Okay.
Rob, what are your thoughts about Sari possibly coming back for a 5th time to play in 50?
Well, I have just always felt that, yes, she came back for the Traitors, and yes, she played Big Brother, but I felt like that Sari's exit in Survivor Game Changers was very much a story and a legacy unfinished. That the way that Jeff brought her out onto the stage in the Survivor Game Changers finale always said to me that she will be back. And I feel like that Sari, I've always maintained, has one more run in her on Survivor. And she wants to do it. She's always said.
50 more runs.
Yeah.
Sari is a Terminator. She is the C-1000. And we will see her shapeshift into maybe a winning game on this ballot for Survivor 50. There is one pick left. Rob, you think you know who it is?
I think I do.
Do you want to write it down or be open about it? And
I'll be open about it. I'm going to say that I'll be surprised if the voters don't put their Q skirt on and it's not Q. I think that there were some other snubs, but I feel like that to me, coming into this, I thought that Q would be one of the top vote getters. So if he is not on this list, debatable.
Will it be a big mistake?
Yes, okay.
Cancel Christmas if it's not Q.
He has a lot of sayings. What is it?
Santa, you keep your job. Q is our last name on the cast of Survivor.
The idea that you cancel Christmas and then like Santa loses his job. I hadn't thought about that. Look at this little cute little graphic thing.
That is
Look
cute.
at this group.
Look.
People will.
Hard to quibble with the people that are on the board.
Yeah.
But a few folks should have got through.
Q is an old.
Rob will gladly sacrifice his spot for anyone.
Rob, keep giving it up for. We've done this once before. Look, Q.
I wanted to see Bryce on the list.
I know. I'm really upset about Bryce. Before we talk about like some of the snubs in our mind, they're all snubs. All the people who didn't make it on, snubs. Everyone who didn't make it on to the 50, all of them snubs. Every person who's ever played who's not on, snubs. Yeah. But I just want to give Q's flowers. Q should be there. Q will play many times, and he's an all-time character of Survivor in general, and it's not recency bias. Yeah, upset about Bryce though. Upset about Marianne.
This is the thing, is that I think it is a huge honor to make the top 50. I think it's like just an absolutely impossible job. I know that a lot of people have expressed to narrow this down to 20. And like I said, the votes were tight. But yeah, some really interesting facts here. Of the 20, one winner. And I do think, again, I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody, but I do think it speaks to the fact that even if people did not make winners at war, that I think people don't necessarily want a repeat of that theme of bringing back winners again. Something else that should be noted here: out of the 20, including yourself, Rob, only 5 of them have come back to play again. The 15 out of this group, 3/4, only played Survivor
overdue.
once.
We're backed up for a returning player season.
Yeah, for a Rob Cesternino season, I thought is what you were going to say.
Yeah, no, but I think it makes sense as well. I think Second Chances was such a great theme. There was so much potential of you didn't get a chance to win the $1 million, whether you finished pre-jury, made it to the jury, or just made it to the end and lost out. There's an appeal for redemption there.
Look, all of the casts in the 40s have been super strong. It's one of the strengths of the show, the way that they cast it. But they needed like some kind of like a second chances along the way, some kind of like new era all-stars. And it's hard because like what are you going to throw out 45, throw out 46? But in a perfect world,
we wouldn't have known.
Yeah, we would have seen some of these people come back already.
What they should have done, and this has been said so many times, that it would have been really great to see even just any second chance, even if it was skewed modern with some like, put TBird in there, put Sean Rector in there, and then do a legend season for 50 that then builds on those like second chance characters. Because we know once they do like an all returnee big season right after second chance, it usually goes really well. So I think they should have done that. But yeah, the trend of no winners, I think, people really wanted Vecepia. People did really want Sean. I think these are the names we're going to hear. I really wanted Marianne. I think a lot of people did
Shane Powers was one.
Yeah, Shane, again for Shane. Hopefully he's not watching this, right? And
I know he watched last week.
He's probably watching.
Not again. Not again. Yeah. This has already happened. Should I watch all of Exile Island today like I did the day the Shane didn't get into 31?
What should be noted as well for breaking it down by chronology. So the people who were represented that from the first 20 seasons who appeared up through Heroes versus Villains, 6 people on this ballot have appeared in Nicaragua through Winners at War, and then 8 from the New Era.
Bad, actually.
Yeah, I think there was obviously a lot of commentary last time about how New Era heavy it was, and it is about half and half, but it actually is like fairly evenly balanced between those quote unquote 3 big eras of the show.
3 tribes.
Yeah. Well,
no one being surprised.
Like the lack of people wanting winners really plays out. Earl, Vecepia, Marianne, I think those are some pretty massive stuff. Also, like on that, like Amanda over Parvati is just shocking to me. But there you go.
If they want to do 3 tribes, they could do 21. They could do 3 tribes of 7.
Yeah, put Marianne in, put Bryce in.
Have they ever done that on any of the international seasons? 3 tribes of 7?
Yeah, there was a South Africa season did 21, 3 tribes of 7.
Yeah, I don't know if they like the uneven gender numbers.
You could figure it out. You could work
They could, but do they?
Yeah.
Bryce is such great casting that we missed out on. We all are aware of that.
It's tough because I mean, unless we're counting returnee seasons, no one in this list got voted out pre-jury. The lowest places were Caleb and Cass, who both were the first juror on their.
Yeah, and I'm mad about that too. I want Zach on this as well. I've got a lot of my favorite returnee theme of all time. Pre-juror versus post. So look, a lot of good stuff here. Rob, congratulations to you. Good luck.
Great job, Mike, putting this all together. Incredible job.
Good luck with the response.
Congratulations to our top 20. And hey, look, we've teased this out a little bit, and we have been, always welcoming to responses. That's what this entire project has been. If people want it, maybe we run a little brand steal of these 20. Only if people are interested in it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't at me, by the way, if you're angry. At Rob. He said he didn't vote. He's the person, okay? So Rob, where's Bryce? You didn't vote.
That's true. I did.
People should be voting if they care about things that are important. If they're on the sides that I agree with.
I mean, Mike said the next person was 30 votes away. It wasn't 1 vote away.
You would be.
You are 30 people, Rob.
You're on this.
Where you go, 30 people will follow.
Yeah. Okay.
Will you give up your spot to someone?
See, like that's a lose-lose situation also,
No, it's
Shannon.
Omar. Yeah, then you can choose who it is alone, and then people can at you on your choice. That's good.
That's like people get mad either way on that one, Shannon.
Okay, at Rob and 29 other people who didn't vote. They're the difference.
Okay.
So we
all right.
All right.
Well,
Mike, well done to you.
Incredible job, Mike.
What an odyssey it's been for you. You have really what a podcasting project that you did over months.
Did you say how many votes total?
So between the first round and the second round, we got about cumulatively 35,000 votes.
Cumulatively?
That's so many people.
Yeah, cumulatively, emphasis on the Q. Again, those numbers just absolutely blow me away. And look, when it comes to all this stuff, people may have their various reactions to things, and that is completely understandable. But as I mentioned before, I'm more of a journey than a destination person. And while I very much enjoyed this group of 20 that came out, I had such an unbelievable time getting to undergo this entire process.
And just once again, if you're really not happy with how it came out, just remember, this was not the real cast.
It is, and you're leaving now. Go get your suitcase, Rob. You're going to Fiji.
There's a whole real cast that will come out one day.
You'll be so mad
for
about
you
it.
to actually get angry about.
And this
was just a poll.
This is just a nice warm up. This
was just a poll.
Exactly, a soft launch, if you will.
Hundreds of hours and tens of thousands of votes and an insane amount of work. Mike Bloom, super proud of you in your cute little tie. Hardest working man in the world on anything.
I'll take that title. Absolutely.
So, congrats to Mike. Everyone go tell Mike how much you love him and how excellent he is.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and this has been a really fun summer.
This has been a really, really fun summer. I love that this ends up kind of being a wish list Summer of Survivor hybrid, just because these are two incredibly fun projects that I got to work on over the course of the Survivor offseason, to the point where it hasn't even felt like an offseason to me, at least. I'm blinking and I'm thinking, oh my God, September is right around the corner. It felt like Memorial Day just came around. And so it's been such a pleasure to get to occupy all these Wednesday nights and other days and nights, getting to talk about this show and fill our mind with Survivor chatter before we get to do it all over again with a new group of people in just a few weeks' time.
Okay. We've got Big Brother coming up earlier today. Shannon and I talked about Big Brother 26. It was a return of the Sari cap, Shannon's favorite player, Sari. She watched all of Big Brother 25. She didn't watch any Big Brother 26 until right before our podcast. So find out what Shannon had to say about Big Brother 26 in our Patreon podcast feed at robhasawebsite.com/patron.
There we go. Any other comments you want to have about that, Shannon?
No, we had a really good time with Rob, and honestly, this episode was fun. And now I find out that there's a lot of romantic intrigue, and I'm kind of in. Like, I'm not in, but I'm interested. Now I'm like looking at Twitter with intrigue.
They say the truth shall prevail, and now Shannon has expressed her truth when it comes to Big Brother 26. So you can check that out. And of course, from my perspective, I've reignited the Lost Talk with Josh Wigler, doing TV for Real, which actually includes one of the members of the Survivor 50 cast. This week, Kelly Wentworth will be joining me and Sasha, which should be very fun. Going to get maybe her fresh reactions to her being in the top 20 of this ballot. From Parade's perspective, I'm, of course, doing Big Brother Exit Press. I'm doing the Challenge 40 Exit Press, which is also airing a new episode right now. Last thing I will say is, look, they got to release the Survivor 47 cast at some point. And if and when it happens, I will have the great pleasure of getting to release all the preseason interviews I did with this cast, which features maybe a couple of familiar faces, and getting to talk about it all with you, Rob.
Yep. So if you want to make sure you don't miss any of our Survivor 47 preseason coverage, you got to make sure you subscribe to Rob as a Podcast. Go to robhasawebsite.com/subscribe. That's also how you make sure you get these podcasts coming to you every single time we make one. And also, in case there's another vote, you're gonna know first if you go to robhasawebsite.com/subscribe. If it happens, you're gonna know.
All right. Well, can I just say Asia robbed? Right? That as well.
Yeah.
We needed
Okay.
another podcast. We needed a 47.
Well,
one.
Mike didn't do a Survivor 47 wish list.
Well, I'm complaining about it.
Yes.
Yes.
Listen, I certainly
Save it
have
for
some ideas.
December.
Yeah, I have some ideas already percolating in my head for the holiday season, but we have an entire other season to get through ahead of that. But this has just been such an incredible way to spend the summer. Thank you to everyone who tuned in this entire summer checking out this project. Congratulations to everyone who made the top 50 and especially to our top 20 as well. Let us know if you want us to do a brain steal of the top 20 and see maybe even one step further how this metaphoric cast would do on a season together. Thank you all so much for listening. It has been such a sublime summer, and I cannot wait for another season right around the corner. Until then, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.